Hello, just wanted to make a quick video talking about what I did to fix my slave cylinder on my R53 Mini Cooper. These OE style slave cylinders are terrible. They use this stupid quick connect fitting. After going through like 4 of these slaves, the rubber seal or gasket has failed, and to replace that, it looks like I would need to replace the whole line. I'm not doing that, so I was able to find a solution to swap to a different style slave cylinder from if it's like a 1990 S10. There's a part number from O'Reilly's. That was like 20 bucks. I guess main benefit I could find on the couple forum posts I saw was just uses a standard flare or a double flare or a bubble flare fitting, and it's a hell of a lot easier to bleed. Even with this power bleeder, the OE style, I really struggled to bleed. Like I said, I've been through like 4 of them. A couple were bad out of the box. One of them only lasted a month. Bled this S10 style one once with this power bleeder, and it worked perfect. So I'll show you under the car here. So there it is. There's a couple things you do have to do to make this work. One of them, you'll have to round out these holes, just make them ovals pretty much. The S10 slave is a little bit narrower of a bolt pattern, but it's really not much. I mean, you can't, the OE style mini bolt covers the whole entire hole, so it's really not anything drastic. The only thing I'm not super happy with on my car is the fittings I had to use. The fitting on the slave, the S10 style slave, is a bubble flare M12 by 1, and I could not find that fitting into a 1/4 inch, so I had to use a 3/16 line, and I went from 3/16 an adapter to get to a 1/4 union, and I flared the OE. It should be a 6mm line. That worked fine in my 1/4 inch flare tool. Yeah, so I had to use one more fitting than I would have liked, but it works. Super easy to bleed. Pedal feel is better than when I bought the car. Here's a couple part numbers I used. This is an adapter line to go from that bubble flare. There's a M12 by 1 to just a standard 3/8 size. And then I went from that standard 3/8 size to the 1/4 inch. So then I could use a standard 1/4 inch union and flare the OE line. So there's a couple part numbers there. This slave cylinder was like 20 bucks from O'Reilly's. You can get it cheaper online or cheaper at other stores. I had some of the adapters already, or some of the fittings, some of the unions, but this was like 7 bucks. This was like 3 or 4. You're in this whole swap for pretty much less than the OE mini style. So I would definitely recommend doing it. It's really not that difficult. If you spent a little bit of time, I'm sure you could do something about this, but it seems to be working fine for me. The power bleeder here definitely makes bleeding easier. And when I bled it, whether it was the OE style or this style, I took the slave off the car and used a clamp like this here to compress, like I don't know what you call it, the piston or something. I guess one other small tiny issue, the bleed screw, I just had to trim off. I don't know if you can see. Just had to trim off a tiny bit on the top because it was hitting the transmission, but other than that, just tweaked this AC line a tiny bit to get it out of the way. And like I said, you can definitely do this adapter setup. You could definitely make this cleaner. You could definitely route the line better. But it works and it's better than the OE style, and I would say it's cheaper as well. I definitely recommend doing it.